what I've learned is that a lot of us are stuck in between failure and success, and we actually have a fear of both. For example, I don't want to, well, obviously, like, no one just wants to fail. Like, that doesn't really just feel good. Like, no one just says, like, yeah, I want to fail. But it's like you don't realize that you also don't want to be successful either. So you're stuck in this, like, how I feel it is like, it feels like no matter how hard you try, you're just like stuck. It's like literally no matter, I've done all the posts, I've done all the work, I've taken all the workshops, but I still feel like I'm not getting where I want to go. You're not failing, but you're also not successful as you want to be, because there's something over here that you actually do not want. It comes to a shock to a lot of people that's like, well, part of you actually doesn't want more money. A part of you doesn't want to be successful because what that may come with, or what that means about you. For example, like a big thing with, if we just use money, is, one of the beliefs that we have associated with money is that, like, I can't make money because, I'm worthless, or I'm unworthy, or I don't deserve it, or something like that. So you don't want to fail. You don't want to lose the money or take the risk or anything, because of course, if you fail, then it means, oh, you're right, I am worthless. However, you also don't want to be successful, because what that disproves the belief that you have of that I am unworthy, or that I am undeserving. And fear's job is to protect whatever whatever your familiar construct, whatever your reality is to make sure that stays the same no matter what. So if I believe, or part of me believes, that I am worthless, it will self-sabotage me from success. So fear just feels very confusing. It feels overwhelming. It feels frustrating, because you're just being pulled from all these angles. Like, you're being tugged and pulled and pushed, because it's like, I want that, but I don't want that. It's like, what do I really want? And so one thing, if you're like afraid of that greatness, I would just like tap into, like, one of my favorite prompts is like, I can't be successful because why? And then just start listing all the reasons why you don't want to be successful. And most people haven't done this exercise, and because we most likely go the other way, right, of like the failure side. So just making a list of like all the reasons of why I don't want to be successful. Of course, we can go deeper than that. I'm not sure, we probably don't, this isn't the platform for that, to like going deeper, but just having that awareness of like, oh, these are all the reasons of why I'm actually resisting success, of why I'm self-sabotaging success. It can actually be really helpful. Like, I was coaching a guy the other day, and his resistance was, he doesn't want to be successful because of the responsibility that it comes with a coach, and he doesn't want to let people down. Like, if he coaches someone and he doesn't know what to do, right, he's afraid of success in that way, which is also failure at the same time. So they're often tugging and pulling at you. So like, I had to ask him some questions and go deep, but just helping, like, it'll help you by making that list of, here are all the reasons why I wouldn't want to be successful. And then just having the awareness to like, go like, oh, like, I'm actually not afraid of that. Or at least now I know that's what's in the way, and I can, feel the fear and keep moving regardless of that resistance that I'm feeling.
What are some other reasons why people would be afraid of success?
I mean, for me, it was responsibility. It was interesting. I mean, my loop that I was in, I was expecting people to save me. And this actually, one of the things I realized was like, even collaborations were coming from like a fear-based place. Like, definitely, even like all the times I've reached out Christina, part of that, I'm not gonna lie, was out of fear, right? Of like, oh, Christina, like, she has an amazing group of people, and it's like, I need her to be successful. Like, that's just the true, honest, or it hurts to say that out loud. And it's not just her, but it's everybody, of like, oh, like, once I get this many followers, or once I make it on this podcast, then I'll finally make it. Then I'll make it big. And it's like, we are just like outsourcing our power to other people. And so it's interesting that we're talking about like this fear of success, or this fear of like power, because it's like, there's that cheesy like Spider-Man quote, right? Like, with great power comes great responsibility. and you
Mm.
have more eyes on you. That's another big one, is people don't realize like the visibility, that most people have a fear of being seen. And it's like, you don't, and especially like the fear of being seen is usually associated with the fear of being like most like more authentically you than you've ever been.
Yeah.
Because you can like sell and you can promote as you, like you can be seen. Like a lot of the music like artists or actors, like you look at what we're watching on screen is not actually them, right? It's a performance. It's like yes, we're learning, it's them in an artful, artistic way, but it's like when we're showing up, especially like us, like what I just said of like, oh, this was a fear-based part of me and like a shameful part of me that I'm telling the world, that's what we're afraid of showing. And so when you are successful, it's, especially nowadays, it's going to require you to be more you than you've ever been. Especially people who are watching this, it's not like, there are obviously people still being successful in the old way, like that. I don't, it's starting to die, but obviously it's still so prevalent. But the people here, what I found, and in my own life, I am unable to be successful in that old paradigm. Trust me, I've tried. I've
Yeah.
tried to sell in a certain way. I've tried to da-da-da in a certain way. And not only wasn't successful, I believe that was like God protecting me from not being successful. Like, I promise, it was like, Ben, no, like you cannot be successful in this way. So we're not going to allow you to be. And the more me I become, literally the more successful I'm being. Like, this is the best year of my business because it's like, I just feel like I'm actually being me more than I've ever been. And that's actually like the best marketing strategy.